Vancouver is British Columbia's biggest city. It's the gateway to the glaciers of Alaska, the wilderness of Western Canada, and the slopes of Whistler. And it's also one of the world's most desirable places to live. Wherever you roam in Vancouver, the salty sea breeze carries the fresh scents of the forest and the promise of adventure. Its welcoming neighborhoods are filled with the aromas of incredible cuisines, roasting coffee beans, brewers' hops, and all the urban delights you'd expect from a city which is regularly voted the world's most livable. The secret to Vancouver's success is that it has always been developed with livability in mind. Ever since European settlement only 150 years ago, the people of Vancouver have protected the rivers, coastline, and forest, maintaining the perfect balance between nature and the built environment. And there's no finer example than the city's pride and joy, Stanley Park, which dates all the way back to 1886. Because Stanley Park spans more than 1,000 acres, you can return over and over again and always discover something new. To get to the park, simply cycle or walk along the century-old seawall from the nearby downtown area. The wall not only keeps the sea at bay, but ensures Vancouver's waterfront is accessible to everyone. Water has always played a major role in this port and river city. Watch ships come and go from Brockton Point, where a lighthouse marks the easternmost tip of Stanley Park, or from the viewing platform at Prospect Point on the park's northern tip. The coastal First Nations people are seafarers too, having paddled to these misty shores over 17,000 years ago. In the Museum of Anthropology at the University of British Columbia, totems and sculptures depict the rich mythologies of the Haida people and the other indigenous tribes of the Northwest Coast. The modern city takes its name from the British navigator George Vancouver, who landed here in 1792. The original settlement, however, was called Gastown. In 1867, Gassy Jack, a sailor and renowned storyteller, convinced local timber cutters to build him a saloon in exchange for all the whiskey they could drink in one sitting. No one knows who got the best end of the deal, but a tavern was quickly erected and a town was born. Gassy Jack and his makeshift pub may be long gone, but in the historic neighborhood of Gastown, his spirit lingers on, in the good company, the hearty food, and in the vapors that rise from the city's iconic steam clock. Vancouver's early history continues at nearby Waterfront Station, the western terminus of the Canadian Pacific Railway. The railway's construction brought Chinese workers by the thousands, whose descendants have enriched Vancouver ever since. Experience this interweaving of cultures at the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Park and Classical Chinese Garden,